economic updates are supposed to come out,
right? And
and
all hell
she
breaks
quits,
loose.
and
No,
the whole
but
government falls apart because they know they're like
it
screwed,
was
right?
late. No,
Yeah.
weren't they already so late for bringing that out? And then
Yeah.
they finally were gonna do it, and then Freeland quit.
I long for the days, and they will come, where, and you guys said it right when you were, calling me out on that one video, where I wish I could be begging people to buy, and I will be begging people to buy at one point, and they're gonna be like, "Nah, I ain't buying
No,
yours."
bad.
It's like, and
Yeah.
because I just like people to think that we're never gonna go through this like a cycle ever again. Like that's it. That was the last cycle back in like the 80s, 90s, or '08, if you want to include that one. Like it's ridiculous. Like we're gonna go through a cycle, and if you think the cycle is just like 1 month that went up like astronomically high, and then we've been sitting like flatlined for a few years, like there's no way. And because again, we haven't hit the rest of those high unemployment and formal recession yet. They've still been printing money, and that's why we don't have a government right now, is because of the deficit. It was like all of a sudden it's the economic updates are supposed to come out,
Right.
and
all hell
she
breaks
quits,
loose.
and
No,
the
but
whole government falls apart because they know they're like
it
screwed,
was
right?
late. No,
Yeah.
weren't they already so late for bringing that out? And then
Yeah.
they finally were gonna do it, and then Freeland quits, and all hell breaks loose.
And
They
where's
ran
our
those
housing
numbers.
catalog? I want the housing catalog. I want to
Yeah,
look
what
at these
happened?
designs. I want to see what was going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Those were-
what
those
do
were
you
some-
think, based on the numbers, how our market and current environment compares to the '90s recession?
Didn't you just
Honestly,
do a
it's
video
so
on that?
similar. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Give
similar.
it.
It's
Our
like,
our fans haven't heard it, so go.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's so similar. It's scary. Like that, there was that video from 1995 where the CBC, back when they were like a real news agency.
Were
It's
they
like
even
literally,
real back then?
it's like
do we know
literally
this?
CBCNN right now. Like they changed their freaking name to CNN. Like it's crazy. So
I don't believe that the CBC was even like real back then. But anyways, go
they were
on.
reputable. They were
Were they?
trustworthy in most people's. Maybe because we didn't have social
We
media.
didn't have
That's-
social media.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
social
didn't
media
really
changed
know.
everything.
Yeah.
And social media, we've gone off on a tangent here, but social media made this run up worse, I believe. It makes everything more amplified,
Amplifies
social
it,
media.
yeah.
Down
And
to
so this down to,
COVID,
like,
everything.
So
Everything
just think,
amplifies it.
all the people that watch social media and all those realtors that were driving Lambos and making all this money, and all these real estate investors, like back before social media, you would see, and it's not even about the internet, it's social media, right? Was like the next part in that cycle. They, like, what, 10 times more people would have seen that at least than pre-social media. So on the way down, when people are, giving their houses back to the bank and jingle mail and whatever else, 10 times more people are going to see that too. So yeah, social media amplifies everything. And of course, everybody knows about every world war and everything like that. But what we were talking, what was the original
CBC.
'90s
question?
question. So
CBC,
you,
you're-
so you
Oh,
said
yeah.
the numbers. Yeah, that's a video.
Yeah, so in the '90s, yeah, I put us like, I kind of compared, like we're at like 92 right now or something. So '89 it peaked at the market, and then 1995 it was near the bottom. 1995, 1996, and we're seeing that slow downturn the same. And you had this big increase in public sector jobs. The interest rates went from like 13% in 1989 down to like 5 point something percent at the end of 1995. People say, oh, I was paying 7 point something percent. Yeah, they were paying that on their mortgage, but the Bank of Canada rate was like 5 point something. And so we're seeing all the same trends, and you're going to see. So the problem with the public sector, the increase in public sector jobs, again, that's just to boost the unemployment, or to lower the actual unemployment numbers, right? To boost employment. And they did the same thing, but then by 1995, which would be say 2+ years from now, the public sector's workers were worried about not having a job, going on strike, because you can't keep funding this kind of government, right? And so we're seeing, like, it's like the same cycle, and it's all to do with interest rates, creating exuberance, low interest rate environments, and then going, peaking and dropping them back down. So it's like the trend, and this is what I look at. It's not like Bitcoin's a great one. So I'd like to, like, no, there's no Bitcoiner out there that will say, well, the data, like that's just like momentum trading or whatever, right? There's no real thing. Well, it's going to be great because everyone's going to use it as currency one day.
When?
This is not the same. My forecasts are based on historical data, where Bitcoin really doesn't have any historical data. I bought it for 10 cents and it's worth 100 grand. Like, that's like that. So if you want to compare that, like Bitcoin, to something, what would you compare it to? You can't. There's like, crypto's like a new thing. So I would compare it
Tulips.
to like tulips.
Toronto
Yeah.
housing.
Tulip
Yeah.
Mania. They were like
Oh.
supposed to be 10 cents and they were $1,000.
Yeah.
And crypto, yeah, the crypto guys, they get pissed. They'll be freaking commenting on this video. But I'm
Mm.
not for again. I think crypto's a great thing and Bitcoin and everything. But like, do you really think the government's going to be like, oh, you guys want your own decentralized currency? Sure. Like, let's like have it, right? It's
That's
not going to happen.
decentralized, right? When the government gives it to you.
No,
Like,
decentralized
what
is
the
like
fuck?
the government. The government doesn't have anything to do with it, and you get to control your own currency. Like the government's never going to allow this.
Yeah, and
But
the
now-
Department
yeah.
of Justice now just got approval to be able to sell all of their Silk Road Bitcoin, right? So it's
Okay,
like
yeah.
67,000 coins,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I mean, they own a lot right now, but that might change overnight because all of a sudden now they've got the approval from Congress, right?
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
How
So-
do we get onto Bitcoin?
Are you looking for the best merch store on the planet? Well, we got the shit for you. Coming in at low prices where we barely make any money off of whatsoever, you can get the greatest real estate merchandise on this platform. Just look at this very flamboyant man putting on this great stuff. He looks great, he's dancing great, and boy does he look sexy in that merchandise. I tell you, buy this for anybody, you buy this for yourself. You will be not only repping the greatest Canadian real estate podcast in this world, but you will also be looking hella good doing it.